Yes, Saka. Versus Mramo, the Pont TV. But subscribe to the channel. Now, my share, comment, my share, link in the summer for you. If you cost my Ghana. Information is Saka, I say, soon, say, they already a friend with Kojo Yankson. Okay. This is the issue. So we can be a far LGBTQ plus no. Na so say imrana area man. Can one sin be maybe I will be a bit jelly. Na ubi na a program. Na invite I'm a plant. Na invite no or interview no discuss about LGBTQ plus no say some to an instance so I can say and the back would do me up a software and me a software Ghana my my now when you say LGBT gay someone cry with Bible homosexuality no Bible like this to know and now software be so bar station so the kasa and all kind of say Ghana beyond it. Now, because a Ghana beyond it, now a mark, I will be from home. But they say, yes, you put on, best say a good coy, and Ghana beyond it. Ghana beyond it, come my initially, that you die so a bedroom. Just say, came in one parliament, meeting us of party. Or baby, there be a woman is you, baby, there be a woman, Kanya, baby, a woman, also. Ana bibia be mo so akon kan wa brabo amu ye ko ni ngutie nsema kan.
This is a very interesting thing about this law that people haven't thought of. If I go on a Super Morning show and I say I believe that armed robbers, okay, let me give a better example. I believe that drug users should not be jailed. It is illegal to use prohibited drugs in Ghana. It's a crime, like to sniff cocaine in Ghana. If I go on my show and I say I believe that those who sniff cocaine should not be put in jail, it's not their fault, they are addicted, they should be helped. If I say this, will someone put me in jail? Have I broken a law by saying this? Even though it is illegal to sniff cocaine, if I say on my show that I don't think those who are caught sniffing cocaine should be jailed, no one can jail me for that. If I start a campaign to help those who sniff cocaine so that they don't get jailed, no one can jail me for that. But this particular crime, because now there's a law against it, so it's a crime of homosexuality. If I go on my show and have any conversation that suggests that homosexuals should not be criminalized, I can be jailed for it. So for the first time, we've passed a law that actually prohibits. Well, it's not for the first time. It's not for the first time. We've had it before, and we thought we were coming away from this, from criminal libel and all that. But we've not passed the law. So it takes us back there.
Absolutely.
That's what we've done.
Absolutely.
You see, so look, this law, yes, it does pose a danger.
The Punch TV.
For us to start implementing Ghana Beyond.
So when we were doing Galamsey, we didn't think about Ghana Beyond Aid. When we were inviting foreigners to come in and, literally muddy waters, literally, we didn't think about Ghana Beyond Aid. When we were selling off our gold, we didn't think about Ghana Beyond Aid. Every resource we have in this country.
For me, on this topic, the people who disappoint me the most are the religious leaders. They disappoint me the most. I'm a Christian, and I understand that the Bible speaks against homosexuality. The Bible refers to it as an abomination. I'm aware of this, and I am a Christian, so I understand the Christian's position on it. But I also ask myself, what would Jesus do? If Jesus encountered a homosexual, what would he do? We claim we are Christians, Christ like Christ. What would Jesus do? Well, let me remind you, Jesus Christ, his squad, it included prostitutes, tax collectors, all
The Punch TV.
they disappoint me the most. I'm a Christian, and I understand that the Bible speaks against homosexuality. The Bible refers to it as an abomination. I'm aware of this, and I am a Christian, so I understand the Christian's position on it. But I also ask myself, what would Jesus do? If Jesus encountered a homosexual, what would he do? We claim we are Christians, like Christ. What would Jesus do? Well, let me remind you, Jesus Christ, his squad, it included prostitutes, tax collectors, all the people that society had neglected, all the people that Pharisees, those who felt that they were the most spiritually pious, had rejected. That was Jesus Christ's squad that he was ruling with on a daily basis. But we think we are more righteous than him. So
The Punch TV.
to well-meaning citizens, not just those who might be engaged in LGBTQ activity, but well-meaning, it means that we can't say what we think anymore. And that's how I started my submission today, by telling you that this is one topic on which I cannot say what I actually think, because it could land me in jail. That's the country I live in today. Now, this is going to have an effect on all kinds of things. All kinds of things. But you see, this is the hill that we have chosen to die on. This is the fight we've chosen not to give up on. We don't care what it will cost us. Oh, tourists will not come to Ghana. We don't care. That will actually happen, by the way. And it's already happening. When the bill was being considered in Parliament, somebody was trying to organize an event here. Something you might even be interested in was a women's empowerment event. This person, due to her connections, was able to get Naomi Campbell on the phone. Supermodel Naomi Campbell and all of her global following and attention. And she was willing to come and speak at this event. Until her team pointed out to her that going to Ghana now is a bad idea for your brand. You are in the fashion industry where LGBTQ people they abound in that industry from the top to the bottom of it. You cannot be seen to be visiting a country that is considering criminalizing what is their lifestyle, and then you come back and expect to work with them. They will make you pay for it. So don't go to Ghana. So it's already happening. That's Naomi Campbell. Maybe we say we can live without Naomi Campbell, but she's not the only one who will have to make such a decision before coming to this country.
Is it necessary?
It's not necessary.
All of this, should we put ourselves as a country in this position where people are having to make some decisions about us in our present state? Is it necessary?
You see, we are a sovereign nation.
Is this necessary?
Somebody, I heard a preacher enjoy. Well, he wasn't preaching on joy. He's a preacher, but he was speaking to this matter of joy. I think it's, I don't remember which of the churches he's one of the elders or members of. Reverend somebody. He was saying that we've been saying Ghana beyond aid for so long. This is the time.
The Punch TV.
I am most disappointed by religious leaders. This guy is saying that this is we've been talking about Ghana beyond aid, so this is the time to implement Ghana beyond aid. Also, maybe you are living in another country, but let me remind you that this is not the time. We are in an IMF program. That's Ghana beyond aid. Now, why don't you read newspapers? And you come and stand in the pulpit at a pulpit on a Sunday and expect us to listen to what you are saying and take it as wisdom. We are in an IMF program. You say this is the time to implement Ghana beyond aid. This is not the time. If that time will come in my lifetime, I'll be grateful. But this is not it.
So you know what I find most shocking is the fact that, and we'll come to that in a minute, in the president's address, he speaks about the affirmative action bill. Right?
This is where our sovereignty is waking up. When people were coming to take our gold, pollute our forests, our sovereignty didn't come up. When people were telling us what price to put on our commodities, our sovereignty didn't come up. When people were telling us what value to place on our passports, our sovereignty didn't come up. When people were telling us that your currency is worth this much against ours, our sovereignty didn't come up. On no issue of rational importance did our sovereignty become an issue. But this one, other people's resources and what they do with it, that is the one on which our sovereignty has arisen. This is the one we are flying our flag over.
I really wouldn't want to be President Akufo-Addo at this moment, because I mean right now he's being lobbied, the pressure is on, it's interesting. Originally we thought it was political, but now I think it's bipartisan.
Oh, 100%.
Bipartisan, because we are hearing views from both sides. We are hearing people within the NPP against the bill. We are hearing people, so now it's a national issue. I love this one. I love this debate. So people are literally saying to the president, those that are saying do not assent are saying this about human rights. Those are saying assent are saying this is not about human rights, it's about lifestyle. Confusing arguments when I think about it, BD. Very confusing that we can't seem to even agree if this is about human rights or if it's not about human rights.
That's another funny thing.
Confusing.
I don't know if you caught James Bajwa, one of the sponsors of the bill. He was asked about the same thing. That look, this is people's sexual identity. So so it's their human rights. And he said, look, sexuality is a choice. So if you are choosing it, then human rights don't come in. And then he went through the list of what the Constitution says you cannot discriminate against people over, the things on which people's human rights are protected. And as he was going through the list, he mentioned religion and passed on without even realizing that it contradicts the point he had made earlier. Don't we choose our religion? Don't we choose it?
Absolutely.
So why is it that choosing something should then immediately disqualify it from being a human rights issue? Religion, is it not a human rights issue? Don't we choose our religion? So if even you are right that people are choosing their sexuality, which I am still to be convinced of, but even if you are right, why does that disqualify it from being a human rights issue? Human rights are human rights.
The Punch TV.
This is a bill that I have known about since forever. So my question then becomes, we have bills that goes to the heart of our existence in this country, right? There's a bill that's, we are sort of, in fact on Monday I was supposed to have moderated a session in Parliament on, maternity leave, paternity leave. Somehow it didn't come on because, the clerk said it couldn't come or whatever. So it feels as if there are lots and lots of it. There's a whole queue of bills that for me are more pressing and address day-to-day, issues, affects our bread and butter issues as a people. And those bills are still waiting. Somehow, this LGBT one just came from nowhere, arrogantly made its way to the top. And today, here we are.
But that's because this is what the people of Ghana want. For the first time,
the people of Ghana want to do. Kojo, are you sure?
Yes, 100%. Look, there are surveys.
What people do in their bedrooms. Yes, what we eat, what we drink, and how we live.
Yes, Amma, we are able to vacate our hunger and famine, our disease, putting our children through an education system that brings them out just slightly older but equally illiterate. We are able to put aside all of these problems to worry about how people have sex in their room. That is the truth about who the Ghanaian is. I'm telling you a fact. Look, as we are talking, just go and look on your Facebook or social media comments right now. Go and see what people are saying about what I'm saying right now. Go and see the vociferousness with which they are disagreeing with me. It matters to them. It matters to them. And everybody in Parliament knows that they dared not speak against this bill. Well, they didn't quite. They tried to see if they could improve it. People like Alexander Afenyo-Markin kept suggesting improvements. He couldn't ever dare open his mouth and say this bill is a waste of our time. he couldn't dare open his mouth and say, why are we rushing this bill through parliament? The speaker himself, for the first time in the history of the Republic of Ghana, the speaker declared that a law will be passed. The speaker. Who is the speaker to declare that a law will be passed? Something that is determined by members of parliament selected to represent us by the people of Ghana. They are the only ones who have the power to vote and decide on what becomes law and what doesn't. The speaker presides, but the speaker on this particular law, without apology, announced to the world that this law will be passed. You remember?
Yes.
Good. It's never happened. Never happened. But Speaker Baldwin did it, because this is the one issue on which people vacate logic, reason, and simply move on sheer emotion. I don't even know where the emotion is coming from. I don't even know where it's coming from. Is this the only thing the Bible speaks against? Can we not pass a law against adultery?
Oh,
I think there are more examples of God being upset with adulterers in the Bible than there are of God being upset with gay people.
and Kojo, isn't the name of the bill family values, protecting? I mean, what could constitute a danger to family, values more than adultery? What?
But nobody gets this angry over adultery. Neither men nor women get this angry over adultery. But how somebody else has sex, that one we are mad about, to the point where we are willing to sacrifice anything. You will come to our country, we don't care. The year of return will collapse, we don't care. We will not get aid, we don't care. We will not get visas, we don't care. We don't care, because this is the hill we have chosen to die on. This is the one fight we will not lose. We will by all means demonstrate to the world that we hate how other people have sex. That is the one thing we want to convince the world of.
The Punch TV.